Hi there everybody, it's UK independent demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.com. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're all okay. Happy Sunday. Just going to see if I can find the feed on my iPad so I can chat along with you. And I have some really good news today. I've borrowed my mum's phone, so I'm hoping that the feed doesn't jump like it does on my work phone, and obviously my personal phone's broken, so fingers crossed it's working. Hiya Karen, hope you're okay. Hi Janice, thanks for joining. So I've got a very 3D card for you today, which is this one here, and it's using Freezing Fun, and I'm hoping you can see, but the background was really shiny. It's really glittery, and I've covered it lots, and I've also got all these little sparkles in here. So I'm going to show you how to make it. So how's your weekends been, everybody? Hi Colleen. Oh, how come you were worried? Hi Nikki, hope you're okay. Oh, Janice is going to craft along, yay. Karen's cleaned up a mess. So earlier Karen was getting things ready for the live, and she made a cup of tea and spilt it over her desk, and I don't think she was very happy. So for this card, I've got a thick piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is a full A4 sheet. Okay, I'm going to cut it into 2 cards, but normally when I cut the card, I cut it down the middle and have it tenfold. You want to cut it the other way this time, so that you have 2 cards in effect. And there's quite a bit of card that goes into making this. So that's how I'm going to do the base. And then I've also, in addition, for those crafting along, I have got 8 sheets of Whisper White cardstock. This is a thin Whisper White cardstock, and it's 10.5 centimeters by 14.25 centimeters. And I've got 8 sheets there. Okay. So lots of people coming on. Hi, everybody. Hi, Jeanette. Wow, from Australia. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. And I'm safe over here. I hope everything's okay over there. What time is it over there? Oh, yeah, for anyone from America or anywhere that's joining us, our clocks have gone back a hour in the UK. So if you were waiting for me at 3 o'clock, I do apologise. And hi, Sue. Hope you're okay. Right. First of all, I will mention I used Freezing Fun for this card. I'm not going to be using Freezing Fun for this one. I'm going to try using Wishes and Wonder, because I actually had this for a previous card, so I've actually got some of the bits already cut out and done, but we'll get to that bit when we get there. So what you need to start off with is your trimmer, and I think Aniki's just said that her paper trimmer doesn't show ½ centimeters. I think you're going to have to guesstimate halfway in between the centimetre, because I haven't got... Oh, have you got inches? Because I can do that. So I'm going to cut this in half that way at 14.85 centimetres, which is 5 15/16 of an inch. And this is using UK paper size. I know America's are a little bit different, but you just want to have it basically so you have 2 cards, but they're folded that way rather than folded tenfold. So I'm just going to score that at 10.5 centimeters, which is 4 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So in effect, I've just got 2 card bases. I'm fine, thank you, Sue. I'm glad you've been able to catch me live. Hope work has been a little bit better for you, but I think judging by the news, it hasn't been. 3 a.m. in Australia, wow. Yeah. I don't think I could be watching craft videos at 3 a.m. I like my sleep. So what we're actually going to do so that you get the leaves like this is I'm eventually, not now, I'm going to stick that base onto this one so that the card feeds like that. Okay. I have got the largest stitched circle framelit from the Stitched Dies set. If you don't have this, it is the exact same size as the largest circle in the Layer in Circles dies. So I measured them earlier and they're both the same, and it doesn't really make much of a difference. The only difference it makes, if I can show you, is on the inside here where I've stuck this middle piece, this has got the stitching. But if you don't have the stitch dies, you can use the normal layering dies and that will work as well. And I've got a piece of post-it note, but you can use a piece of washi tape. I'm just going to use it to help stick the cards together. So just to make it easier for me, I'm going to trim it at about 1 inch so that I have all of the sticky and none of this wasted bit that's here. Hi Danielle, hope you're okay. Thanks for joining. Hi Elizabeth. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pop my post-it note on this left leaf here, and I'm going to stick it down so that the sticky bit is on the end. I'm just going to cut it in half so it's a bit easier. So it will now stick to my grid paper because the sticky bit is underneath. Okay, it doesn't have to be straight or anything, just stick that down with this card underneath, because what we're actually going to do is I want to put a hole in here and in here, but I want the hole to line up once it's stuck together so that it's a perfect straight hole all the way through, which means I need a hole in the same place in this leaf as I do in this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my card with it perfectly in place in this card, and I'm going to close it, and then I'm just going to stick the post-it note down. Okay, so that will make sure that it stays in the correct place. And this is very unusual for me. I'm actually going to bring my die cutting machine on the table so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm really sorry because it's going to bring it quite close to the camera, and I know that's a pain, but I think it's the best way to show what I'm doing. So I'm still using the Big Shot because I haven't got the new Stampin' Die cut and emboss machine. I'm waiting for the mini machine to come out later on in the year. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to fold your card back out, but you still want these two sections here to be together. Okay, pop that under. And then you want to pop your stitched framelit, or if you're using just the larger circle one, you want to stick that on there and make sure it's in the middle of the cardstock. And run it through. And because it's going through 2 sheets of the thick Whisper White, I just run it through a couple of times. So I'd run it there and run it back. Just for good luck. Oh no, who's just said that? Sorry, everything's fell because I got distracted. Someone's just said that the mini's not going to be available until January. I thought it was going to be the end of the year. I know it's only an additional month or 2, but I've been really waiting for that. So when I take this off, you see it's gone through both cards. So I can just pop the middle out. Oh, it hasn't gone through both cards. It went through both earlier. So I'm just going to take the first layer off, pop that back in, which is quite easy with the top layer gone because I can feel that it's in the right place. And I'm just going to run it through again. Just I find this the easiest way to line up so that the circles will always be in the same place. Okay, so I'm just going to run it through this time. Early January. Well, I can wait till early January. It'll be celebrations, so that's okay. But yeah, I just really want the mini one. You want to keep hold of these because these go in the center, or well, one of them go in the center. The other one is yours for using whenever. Okay. So once you've done that, what I'm going to do is this card as well needs to have a hole in it. So I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did before, but instead I'm just going to remove the washi tape or the post-it note off the card. And you want to do this delicately because as it's gone through the big shot, it's going to really stuck to that card. And you don't want it to rip the card, so you want to do it quite delicately. And on the outer card, so you should have one that folds that way with the circle being on the left hand side. So on that one you want to line up where the front layer will be, and because it's just smaller you'll have like a little bit of an edge in frame, and then you just want to stick your post-it notes around that. So I think Janice and Karen are crafting along with me. I hope you're keeping up, but if you're not, just let me know and I'll slow down a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to stick that again around there so I can see where my hole is from the back part of the card. And then I'm going to grab my big shot and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to do that fiddling thing where I make sure that the die is in. And you can honestly feel it with another layer. You can actually feel that it sits right. Okay. And pop my top plate on and just whiz that through. As it's only the thin sheet, you should only need to go through once. Hi Shirley, hi Craft and Wedding. Thanks everyone for joining. Okay. And again, you can keep hold of the circle. They're useful for other projects. And you can throw your post-it notes away now, or your washi tape now. We've got all of our use out of them. All right, so what we've got is we've got the front layer. We've got the card underneath. And then we've got this card here that's going to sit in the middle. So for those who've just joining, this is the card that we're making. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to show you what to do with the back circle because I made a mistake earlier. And I'll tell you so you don't make the same mistakes. I'm just going to move that over to the side. What I did with a circle earlier was I sponged it off the card and then I glued it when I put it on the card, which was fine, but it meant I couldn't shut the card for ages. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this now, and then I'll be able to shut the card at the end of the video because it will be dry. Okay? So what I did for this, I'm just going to grab some scrap grid paper to go underneath so that I don't get my filming grid paper looking messy. Is I use 4 different inks: Blackberry Bliss, Crushed Curry, Pretty Peacock and Night and Navy. And I have my daubers for each. Okay, so I started off with the Night and Navy. Actually, I know I've just picked up Blackberry Bliss, but I'm just being me. I'm just being awkward. I'm taking all the lids off. I can't close the Crushed Curry anymore. Look, I got the label started to come off, so it won't actually shut for me. It's very annoying. And I've tried re-sticking the label down, but it's not really working, so. And now I can't see my colours. That's Blackberry Bliss, Crushed Curry, Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to start off with Night and Navy, and I'm going to start off the card like that. And I'm going to just bring it on, but I'm only doing a slight touch because you'll notice we don't really see much of the sky. So just a real slight touch. Done Blackberry Bliss underneath this, but I've left a gap. So when I come in with the Blackberry Bliss, I'm not going all the way up to the Night and Navy. I'm just sort of doing to there and then coming over. And I'm going around in little circles just to blend it all in nicely. And making it darker towards the top. Just going to put the lid on both of those. And over in this corner, I'm using Crushed Curry to do the same. And I'm going to be darker at the bottom, lighter towards the top. And I'm going through the Blackberry Bliss as well, leaving a gap. I know it looks really messy, doesn't it? And then finally, Pretty Peacock. And I'm going over the whole lot with Pretty Peacock. So I'm starting off the card, running through, and I'm just going over the whole circle to blend it all in together. Okay, but you just want to keep going until it looks sort of smooth. Darker at the top, lighter at the bottom. So it's kind of like that. I've actually just realised the flaw in my plan. So there is a flaw. I was going to do this first so that it dried, ready to put on the card, but I don't know whether you can see, I've actually put stars in it. And the stars come from these die cuts. So I actually need to do that die cutting before I can finish the background. And I never thought about that. So back to plan B of having this wet on the card. Best laid plans and everything. So what I'm going to do is I've got my 8 sheets of cardstock, and this is the thin Whisper White, and I am using our new stamp and die set, which I've got here somewhere. There it is. So it's quite curvy. It's a stamp and die set, and unless you're a demonstrator, you actually can't get this at the moment. This is the this is from the new catalogue, and we've been able to pre-order it as demonstrators, so it is coming for you, and you can get it. And keep an eye on my website because I'll announce when you can get it. But the dies that come with it are these dies. And that's just shook me because there's another one here. I'm not very organised today, am I? I haven't been feeling great today. I've had a really lazy day. So this is the one we want. That's kind of this wave, and it's got this circular stitching. But the dies go really lovely with this set. This is a gorgeous set. So I'm just going to nab that wavy die out. Iniki. Oh yeah, thank you. It'd be really nice if you do enjoy it to give me a thumbs up. Thank you. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to chop towards the top of the card it off in waves, and you can do them in all different shapes. So you can do them like that, and you can do them like that. You want some variation in it. Eventually I'll be chopping these off, so if you didn't want to waste all your card, you can use half, but I've actually kept it the full size of the card. I will chop the bits off at the bottom, and then the bits off the bottom will just be scrap for me later, but it's up to you. So I'm just going to bring my big shot in again, and I am really sorry because I know this is so close to the camera that it doesn't focus. But on the plus side, I haven't actually hit you with the wheel yet, and I'm so close to doing that. So if it did give you a headache with it, I'm sorry. But yeah, so we can go and just play with this. Oh, that's no pressure at all, Colleen. Colleen says she always gives me a thumbs up before I start. She knows it will be a good YouTube. That's very nice of her. But yeah, pressure's on. So when you're actually bearing this, I was being silly putting it there because the circle is only that big. So remember, you don't want too graduated slopes. Sort of medium graduation on the slopes. And what you want to do, and it's really messy, so I do apologise, is firstly make sure you have this the right way round. After telling you to do it at the top. This is the cutting bit at the top, and these are the holes. So I told you put pressure on me now, Colleen. I've done it the wrong way and given myself a small piece. Doesn't matter. I can just turn it round so that the die cut bit's at the top, and I can do it on this half. But either way, you want to get about 8 or 9 slopes. And even though they're annoying, and they are annoying, these little delightful dotty bits that are going to mess everyone's floor up, you want to keep those to put them in the Starry Night. So you don't want to keep all of them, but you do want to keep a few of them. So I'm just going to grab a lid. Does everybody else, crafters, just have tins and boxes around where they always use them for all the little die cuts and bits? I always do. So where's my... So I'm just going to collect them all in here. I did have, I can't remember what company it was actually. It wasn't Stampin' Up, so you didn't hear me say this, but I did have a little sort of collector, I suppose. It was a plastic sort of tub, and you dropped all of these in, but it had a funnel with a cap at the end, so you could catch your glitter in, take the cap off, and then pour it back out really nicely. I don't even know where that is, but that was really handy. And it was pink, so that was always, you know, a plus. So yeah, you just want to keep a few of them. So how's everyone's week gone? Mine's been really busy this week. Work has just been... There we go, I've got a whole load of them now to put on the night sky. Work seems to have been really hectic for some reason this week. I don't think I've actually done more than I do normal weeks, but just for some reason it seems to have been really... just felt a bit busy. Audrey throws nothing away. No, I'm the same. Pop them on the side, and I'll do a big push out of all the little pieces towards the end, but just keep going. One, two, three. This is my fourth. Okay, so once you're about partway through, you actually want to switch the end of the card you're doing. So instead of just doing down this end, you then want to come up and get some that go this way, because my hills, I don't know whether you notice, they all go in lovely directions. So, oh, Sue, I'm glad. I was actually going to message you back. I found a video the other day that I think will help with the dies that was really good. I'll send you a link to it. But I'm really glad you've liked it. So I did a gift away last month of the prize peony suite, and Sue won it. And it was really good. I included everything in the package apart from the card. I sealed it all and then found the card on the table. Oh, look, I didn't change the cut inside. Did anyone else notice I was doing that? Silly Helen. All right, change the cutting side. I can see, by the way, this is going to be a mistake that I make quite often. So, yeah, I haven't got the dies myself, Sue. I made a choice and didn't get the dies. And then when they've been sitting on the side, I don't know how I haven't just opened them and played with them. So I've been really disciplined. And when it comes to packaging your parcel, I was like, she won't miss these. So there's that one. Almost there. Just keep checking that cutting bit. I'm really panicky about that now. Do you know, on the practice card, I didn't do that the wrong way around once. So there we go. And one more. Oh, they're fabulous. So Sue's enjoying her dies. I'm really glad. You'll have to post some pictures of what you've made. Right. That's the end, I think, of my big shot. I think that can go away now. And before I go any further, I am actually going to finish the circle off. So what I've got is I've got Wink of Stella, my shimmery crystal effects, and I've got the lid of that tin that has all these lovely little white bits in. So what you want to do is you want to just completely cover this in Wink of Stella, and it will help blend as well, because Wink of Stella's liquid based and these... Ooh, Oh, something's going off quite loud. I think that's my mum's phone. As I said, I'm using it. I think I'm going to the end of my Wink Stella. Just give it a squidge. So you just want to get that nice and glittery. The shimmery crystal effects will get it glittery as well. It's just I like to add so much glitter on. Now, with the shimmering crystal effects, normally I just add this as an accent. But I'm actually going to cover this completely in it. And it's really messy. So, because I'm going to use my finger. So I'm just going to pop a load of the shimmery crystal effects over like that. So you've got a whole load of it on. And then with my finger, I am just going to rub that in so it's really all over the place. You could perhaps use a paintbrush, but I can feel with my finger when it's got to the edges and where it's got. So cover that. And then I'm just going to drop all of these little pieces in. To create my snowy sky. And I'll put that to the side for it to dry and I'll come back to it in a bit. But that's how I did the back bit. And if you look, it looks really plasticky now and really glittery. So that's exactly how I did that. Right, onto the card. This is the fun bit now. Assembly. So that's my inside bit and my outside bit, and I know they line up. So I've just got to glue them down. So I'm going to be using my Tombow liquid glue so that I can maneuver this into the right direction. Have a wee break. Oh yeah, okay, I'll stop and have a natter. Sorry, I know I was going quick and I've jumped from bit to bit, but that's me. So I'm just gonna stick the card down. You'd worry with my brain. I go all scatty all over the place. So has anyone got any nice plans for the week? What am I doing? Well, I can't really do much because we're in tier 2 here, but I have been going to the gym quite a bit recently. So I'm going to be going back there again tonight. It's actually worked out really well. My brother and I have kind of challenged each other. Normally, I suppose, we don't normally do much together. David's 5 years younger than me, and we're both kind of different people. We have different sort of social lives and things like that. He used to, when he was at college, and I was at uni, come and like go to the pub together and we'd have like a little party thing. But since we've grown up, we don't really do much. So with the coronavirus, we've kind of like been locked in the house together, and now we've started challenging each other at the gym. So he's really muscly and he's quite into all of his weightlifting and things like that. And I joined the gym, and David's really competitive, so now all of a sudden I have a workout schedule and we go together, and it's actually really nice. I'm enjoying spending time with him. So I'm going there this evening, and we'll probably end up doing that a few nights next week. And I've just got to the end of watching Emily in Paris on Netflix. It's okay. Has anyone else watched that? I'm knocking all of my little dots out, by the way, Janice. Let me know when you've caught up. There we go. I thought I had bought, there's an extension for the Take a Pick tool, which has like a little dye brush on the end. And I thought I put it on one of my orders and it didn't come. And so I checked online and I hadn't ordered it. But I was sat here waiting for it, thinking I definitely ordered it. So yeah, the gyms are still open. I think they close if we go up a tier. And to be honest, even though I'm really enjoying spending time with my brother, it'd be quite nice if they did close for a week or two, because it's actually really killing me. After we're finished on the cross trainer, he actually has to come and help me off because my legs wobble. I'm not really... I think everybody just laughs at me in the gym, to be fair. So yeah, Emily in Paris, yeah, I actually quite enjoyed it. It was annoying because normally when I watch series, I try to do it where there's more than one season, because I get into things, binge watch them and then run out. So I'd have quite liked it to go on the other one, but I love some of her clothing choices, let's put it that way. And I want her phone case. So, oh, Jeanette's gym's a craft room. Yeah, that used to be mine. And once the pandemic's finished, it's going back to being my craft room. So, oh, Janice has caught up. That's good. Right. I've almost got all my holes punched out now. Great use of a lid. Can you imagine all of these on your carpet? Oof. I'm sorry, I was a bit scatty earlier, Janice. It wasn't very fair to those who were crafting along with me. I am sorry. So, there's all my pieces. And there's my card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start applying these from the base outwards. So on this leaf here, I've actually put them on flat. And on this leaf, I've put them on flat. And it wasn't until I got to this first bit here, this front bit, that I used dimensionals to pop them out. So this bit here is 3D, but everything else is flat. Otherwise, it would make it quite difficult to fold it. So you can layer these however you like, okay, to get it right. So you're going to go underneath, then on top, then underneath, and then on top on each layer. And remember, at the back, they need to be high. So you can... I started back to front. It's up to you which way you work it, but I'm going to continue to go in back to front. And I'm going to pop that one. That's quite high. I'm going to pop that one, which is a lower one, towards the back. And the way I position these was I worked out where I wanted it, turned it over, and then with my pencil, I just drew where that would go, and then popped glue all the way down. Hi Belinda, hope you're okay. Thanks for joining. So I've used my Tombow so that I can reposition if needed. That on underneath the pencil marks. And there's the first layer. Up to you whether you've got a steady hand or not, as to whether you want to use your trimmer or your scissors. I'm just going to use my scissors to cut that back off. And if I learned something earlier on my first one, I will tell you now. What I did on the first one was stuck all the layers on and then tried to cut with about 4 layers on, and it was really difficult to cut. So I'd cut after each layer. Oh, all right, Shirley. Thanks for joining. See you soon. And then the other thing I'll say is when you're putting the glue on, I put it around the circle down to the bottom. You don't want to pop any of the glue onto this bit because you're going to sneak in your little elements into those gaps afterwards. And if you've glued them completely down, you're not going to get the elements into the gaps. Okay, so let's stick 2 down there, I think. These little bits here you can just pop in behind your actual card. And then pop that on top. You want to try and keep them straight so that you do have that edging all the way around, because when you open it, this is what you're going to see. So you don't want it to be like that. You want it to still look quite straight on the card. So my pencil. And like I said, I'm just going to go around where the circle was. And down. Across. Oh, some cool weather in Houston. When we went there, what months did I go to Houston? It was probably about the end of September, early October, and it was boiling, which is really nice because from the UK, we normally have very cold weather, so it's nice to go somewhere with really warm weather. We had some gorgeous sunsets as well. Glad you like the card. So there's that layer. And then you're working on this layer. Do remember, you don't want to come all the way down to the bottom of the circle because you're going to be popping, let's put it the right way, you're going to be popping this layer on top. So if you come all the way down to the circle, you still want to be able to pop your layer on here. So remember, there is another leaf. And if you don't like the way it's going, you can always just turn it and then you can get it going from another direction. Okay, so and this is why it was great to cut loads of different ones in different angles. Quite like that. Straighten it up. I'm from Solihull, which is right by Birmingham. In fact, Birmingham Airport I can see from my my craft room window just at the side. But not for much longer. I'll let you all in on a little secret, but we're not allowed to get too excited because otherwise it won't work out. I've actually put an offer in on a flat and it's been accepted. But I'm one of those people that until I actually move in, I don't want to get too excited in case it doesn't work. But yeah, so unfortunately I can't do much about it because of the coronavirus. So, oh, Jeanette was born in Liverpool. I love Liverpool. I'd tell you how many times I've been on the Beatles tour up there, but I feel it reflects badly because it's a lot more than I perhaps should have joined it. There we go. Now the front of this one, it doesn't matter whether it's neat now. You can go offside or anything else because you're going to be popping this layer over the top. So you don't have to worry about it being, just so long as it's not going to peek out from the layer. So, oh, did he? How exciting. Jeanette's dad went to school with Ringo Starr. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue there. So you notice I haven't done it straight, but as soon as that goes on, that's not going to be a worry at all. Okay. So now I'm onto my layer. And I'm going to be sticking this up with dimensionals. So what I'm going to do is work out underneath my layer where I want the next one to go, and I want it to go there, and I know that looks terrible because, you know, it's hanging out, but I'm going to just cut that off. So come on, and pop some liquid glue over there. I haven't gone as close to the circle with my liquid glue this time because I still want to have that lip in case I do decide to pop any trees down there. And then I'm just going to do a little trim around the card. Ooh, there we go. And then I'm going to use one of these two, probably that one, because it's got a really, actually I might use both. I'm going to use both. Before I do, I am going to pop this up on dimensionals. I mean, if you wanted to, and you do have extra one, you can always come to the back and pop that in like that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I've still got that extra layer there. I mean, you can play with these hills as much as you like. Make sure it's stuck. I bought my mum for Mother's Day this year. Oh, don't all shout at me. I'm trying to think what they're called. A record player. So she had all these discs in her loft. So I'm just going to stick this up, sorry, on dimensionals while I'm nattering. And she got the big ones, and she'd also got some little ones. I know you're all going to say there's names for them. I'm sorry. But yeah, she had them all in the loft, but she didn't have a record player. So for Mother's Day, I got her. It looks really nice and trendy, like a real retro-y type record player for her to play them on. And she got them down, and she had quite a few records of the Beatles. And I think I've used it more than she has. So I'm just going to whip these off. Oh, okay. So the big ones are LPs, little ones are 45. Yeah, actually the little nudge on the side does say 45 when you knock it to put them on. I just have to keep promising I won't put my hands on the records because she's like, no, they're not CDs. You can't touch them. So line that up, pop it down. And then, yeah, I think that one's going to go there. Before I put it on, I have actually ran some of the ribbon down and underneath on the side. So I'm just going to do that here. So I mean, it's up to you how you adhere the ribbon. I haven't tucked it underneath. I have just cut it off at the ends. So I actually just adhered it using Tombow, which I hadn't done before. I don't normally play with Tombow and ribbon because I always worried that it would show through, but it didn't actually. So I'm going to do it again. Hiya, Susanna. How are you? You've inspired me, by the way, Suzanne. I purchased the paper that you've put in your kit this month. So Suzanne displayed her kit over at Hullabaloo the other week, and she'd used some really gorgeous paper that I hadn't really spotted in the winter catalogue. It was with the Heartwarming Hugs section. Yeah, and it's on special offer at the moment. There's 15% off. So just so you know, I now have 2 packets of that. Thank you very much. The ribbon is the metallic edge ribbon, just so it's nice and glittery on the side of the card. And then, that's what I did. With this one, I chopped it, so it was just a slight bit narrower. Only a slight bit, probably a couple of millimeters. It was just so, in fact, to show you the one it was just so you could still see the glitter part of the ribbon on the side. So that there will just fit that. I'm going to finish by lining that up and sticking it on. And I'm going to stick it on with dimensionals so it sticks out again. Yeah, it did bring lots of memories back actually, and it was quite nice because we actually did a house clearance at my nan's last year, and Mum couldn't bring herself to throw away any of the LPs from that either. So we were able to listen to some of Nan's. And I'm one of those weird girls. I love rock music and punky music, but at the same time I love a good musical soundtrack, and my nan had the Oklahoma soundtrack and the Mary Poppins soundtrack, so I was very happy. And all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to just chop that across as well, so I can see underneath where I need to go. Or you can just use your trimmer if you're worried about the straightness of your hand. Means it's the front layer, and I'm worried about my straight cutting, so I'm going to go that way. I say worried about my straight cut, and I haven't even cut it straight on Oh, we took my nan to see cats a few years ago. My nan was one of these really annoying people that, you know, if she saw something, that she wanted, she bought it. So at Christmas and birthdays, there was absolutely no presents you could ever get her because she'd already bought it. So instead, I used to get her tickets to go and see different plays. And I took her to see Cats, and we didn't realise that the cats come out into the audience. And she was in the aisle seat on the end chair. And this cat came out and just sort of nudged against her with a face sort of like that against my nan's arm. Oh, my nan shot out the chair. She did not scream. It was really funny. My little memory just there. So design, no, well, yes and no, Belinda. I've thought about it because I will actually have my own craft room, which I'm quite excited about. And so, yeah, I have done a little bit of, I've downloaded the IKEA app onto my phone and had a little bit of a look. But I've been trying to be really good because otherwise I'd buy everything, and then if it didn't work out, I'd be stuck with a load of furniture in the garage downstairs. So, but I have decided that I want to have a taller desk or a taller cabinet or something like that, just because I like standing up to die cut and I like standing up to cut my paper, and it kills my back. So I actually thought I want more of a standing desk than a sitting desk. I have thought that far ahead. So as I said, I'm going to be using the Coming Home and the Wishes and Wonder stamp sets because I've used these recently. So I've actually already got bits coloured and cut. So, you know, back when I did the mirror stamping technique on one of my lives, I will link it below if you missed it, but I did the mirror stamping with the silicone sheet. I actually did the reindeer as well in the exact same way on one of my videos. So I have two of him from this set. I've also got my Made in the North Pole circle. And then from the Coming Home set, I have about 1 million trees that we can dot around and play with. I mean, any sets that you've got will work with this because you're just now building the scene and you've left all of these gaps to be able to slot them in. So that will all work, she says. So I'm going to pop my sentiment down there again. And I think I'm going to pop them. Yeah, I quite like them like that actually. So my tip is, if you pop the front bigger focal pieces on first, the little ones will then just be able to fit around the back. And I'm going to pop you up on a dimensional as well. So there's him. And then you either want glue dots or Tombow for this, because when you pop them down, you're not going to want them to glue straight away. You're going to want to get them to where they are and then push them to get them to stick. Okay, so I'm going to use my Tombow because it's already on my desk. And make sure you just put the glue on the bottom. If you put it on the top, you're going to end up sticking layers together. So you just want to pop it at the bottom, feed them in, and then stick them down. Did I not stick that? I must not have done. Thought I had. So where am I back to? My nan used to buy the LPs for the picture on the cover. Oh, bless her. That's like me. I buy perfume because I think the bottle's pretty. Yeah. When I actually do get my place, I think I am just going to move into IKEA pretty much. But yeah. Or you can get height adjustable desks. Oh, I like the idea of that. That's quite, thank you. So once you've actually worked that one out, you can then work out which layer you're going to for your next bits. So you can stick it direct to the layer then. Like I said, just pop it down the bottom rather than the top. Actually, Suzanne, I really liked, Suzanne had a picture that she put up of her craft room. And I liked how Suzanne had got our storage. So I've got, if I just, you watch everything just fall. Oh yes, it's definitely all going to fall. So I've got my my ink pad caddy with all of the ink pads down like that and all my blends together. But what Suzanne's got is she's put her ink pads on one layer, and then directly underneath she's put the coordinating blends for them, and then the ink pads and then the blends. And I actually thought they were really nice. I hadn't thought about coordinating mine like that, so there we go. Found a new idea. Okay, so now I've done that layer, I'm actually going to pop another big tree there, because you should have the big ones towards the front, shouldn't we, and the little ones at the back. That makes sense. So there we go. So now I can just flip that over and I can start decorating this layer with where I want my trees. Yeah, do you know what, Belinda? I've actually realised that lots of people, when they do craft room tours, seems to have their lovely husbands create lots of things for them. So I've decided that I'm going to probably, when I get a place, put an ad out, marry a handyman. He can design my craft room, and then he can go away again. But yeah, lots of people, their husbands seem so crafty. I did a great movement for women's lib there, didn't I? Oh, that's okay. And do you know, I've been using Freezing Fun so much, just because I have fell in love with it. I am very aware how much I've been using it. I'm not going to use my other one, actually. I think that's enough trees. So then I've got my Starry Night over here, which I'm really hoping is now dried. Yeah, not overly. So what you want to do when you've got your last layer is, with your pencil, just draw where your circle finishes there. Okay, and ordinarily I'd put the glue behind my Starry Night, but it's still really wet. So I'm gonna pop the glue here and just hope it's about the right size for a circle. I'm deliberately trying to make it smaller than it would be. Oh, I like a good thunderstorm. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, actually, in all fairness, if we had one over here, because it's been quite warm today, which is unusual for this time of year. And oh, do you know what? I've already got my hands all gluey anyway from it, so I'm just gonna stick that down so that you can see. There you go, there's the card. I'm going to open that back up before it actually sticks. It'd be nothing worse than having a card where the layer was stuck. And I mean, I can go back through now, add some more of the crystal effects or some glue at the top, and actually put some snow at the top as well, because I did miss a bit up there. Actually, as it's still wet, let's give it a try and see if it sticks. But yeah, so you've got a nice sort of snow scene in the back and a scene coming forward. And I know I've stuck quite a few layers on there, but trust me, it stands when it's open, and it also stands with just one leaf open as well. I think that's because we've got 2 pieces of card at the back, so it balances. But yeah, so there we go. What do you think? Do we like? I like it. So, oh, you're welcome. Glad you like it, Belinda. And yeah, probably borrowing one's probably a little bit better. Thanks, everybody. If you do want to make it, Janice and Karen, I know you're crafting along with it. Don't forget to put them in the album over on Slim and Stylish's Crafty Hangout so I can see them. And I will see you all next week. If you don't have a demonstrator and you like these cards, you can purchase them from or you can purchase the bits to go for them from slimandstylish.com. Go up to the top and click buy. And yeah, Aniki, feel free to case. Anyone can case my cards. I find it really flattering. The only thing I will say is please do send me a picture, because I like to see what everyone else creates with them. But yeah, so thank you for joining me. Oh, you need to let your circle dry as well. I know. I'm the same. It's still really tacky. Oh, I hope you stop storing for you soon, Janet, and you can get to sleep. Thanks, everybody. I will see you all soon. Oh, no, actually, what I will add is what I did on this card, but I haven't done on this one, is on the actual top of the snowbank, I popped the crystal effects on there as well. So hopefully you can see it shimmers quite nicely as snow. I've put loads more trees on this one, so I'm not going to do it on this one, but I did do it on that one. All right. Thanks, everybody. I will see you all soon. Bye.